What's happening, people? It's your boy Big Uggs, and welcome back to the Voice of the Toon. Today we are talking Chelsea. Newcastle United host Chelsea in the Premier League today at 3 p.m. At home. We're back in the Premier League after the 2-week international break, which for me needed to be a bit longer. I only say that because we've had some injuries, and some key players out. And against Bournemouth, we were down to the bare bones. So we needed that time out for us to recover physically, mentally, and even as a club, emotionally too. You know, I see some fans after the Bournemouth game getting onto the players and Trippier having a back and forth with them. So emotionally too, like the club needed to recover. And the 2-week break was an opportunity for that to happen. Whether or not we've got as many players back as we hoped, I'm not sure. But you know, it gave us some time. It bought us some time, you know, to at least go through some period without having to play games. I know some guys played for their international teams, and I don't believe anyone got injured. So that's good news for us. But so now we're back in the Premier League, man, and we're back to a busy period. You know, last period before this last break, you know, it was busy, and this is the same. You know, with Champions League and with League Cup as well, and Premier League. So from now to March, it's going to be full on. You know, March is the next international break. So from now to then, it's going to be full on. So. And we started with Chelsea at home, which is for us a difficult game. Chelsea have started to find their form now under Pochettino. They've only lost one in the last 8 games in all competitions. I believe that was at home to Bournemouth 2-0. Other than that, last game, we saw that 4-4 game against Man City. You know, they're starting to play without fear, you know. And, you know, once you do that, you know, you start to believe in yourself. And I can see that happening in the Chelsea side. And then before that, as we know, the 4-1 win at Spurs, you know, so they are starting to score goals. They are starting to find their form and believe in each other as a team. And also, they are getting some key players back. Levi Colwill was out injured for a couple of weeks. Lavia, who's not, I don't think he's featured yet this season. And also Nkunku, I see he's back as well. So, you know, that is training. So they're back. They're starting to get some players back. They're starting to get some belief back. So they'll be looking to make a marker, you know, on our grounds. So it's up to us. You know, we have to know what we need to do, and that's also to play at our highest level. I said that in every single video, because that is what I require from us now. You know, the boys have raised the bar. You know, Bournemouth game last 2 weeks ago was like, it brought to mind Steve Bruce days. The way we played with lack of energy. You know, we couldn't keep the ball. We were on the back foot. So we've got to put that behind us, and we've got to return to our best against a tough Chelsea side. And obviously, we've won 4 in a row at home. We've conceded 0. So this is the first time that we can win 5 in a row and keep 5 clean sheets in a row at home in 116 years. So it'll be a test for us, because obviously not everyone's back to full fitness. You know, we're still nursing some injuries, but at least we've got some players back, at least. Bruno's back in after missing the Bournemouth game due to suspension. So, you know, we know how key he is to our midfield. And Isak as well, so which I'll get onto anyways. But yeah, man, so I think for this game, it's just about us going out there, believing it in ourselves, but understanding that, yeah, this is a busy period. So, you know, go for it. But I don't want us to, you know, be naive and go at Chelsea for 90 minutes, because I feel like the way we play as a team, the way we set out, is probably causing us all these injuries. You know, last season it was different because we had 1 game a week. This season we're playing 2-3 games a week. You know, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So playing the way we play, I believe, might be the reason why we're getting some of the injuries. So we can't be too naive in regards to that, because we've got PSG coming up on Tuesday, and then after PSG we've got Man United at home. So this is a difficult period for us. And then we've got Everton, then we've got Spurs, which I'll be at, and then we've got Milan, then we've got Fulham, and we've got Chelsea again in the Cup. So the games are going to be becoming really busy, and going into this Christmas period, I don't want us to pick up any more injuries. So this period is going to be harder than it was last period in terms of before the last international break. So I want us to get at Chelsea, but do it in a smart way. You know, work smart and also hard at the same time, but work smart. You know, close the gap, squeeze them in. We don't need to make it an open game. I believe we've got the players and we're better than them, so we can dominate the ball without having to run too much. But that's just my view, anyways, on the game. I do believe we can get the win. This is an opportunity for us to get the win, and which puts us back into that 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 picture again, because I think there's a 5 point gap between us and fifth place. I think that's Villa, I believe. So we want to close the gap on them, and not let that gap become too big, because I believe this season Champions League is top 5 in England, or it could be top 5. So. But what a way to start off this period with a win at Chelsea, and what a way to this for me will be a massive boost for the fans and the club. So yeah, bring it on, man, bring it on. I'm looking forward to it. For the team that Eddie Howe will do, based on the injuries, Eddie Howe's been speaking anyways, which I'm going to bring up now. And obviously our list of players is crazy. We saw Callum Wilson pick up a hamstring injury, I think against Dortmund, and Eddie Howe said that he doesn't think he'll be fit for a period of time. That's what we know. Like I always say, last season as well, I said it before, like when Isak is fit, that's when we see the best of Callum Wilson, because Callum Wilson doesn't have to play 90 minutes. He comes on and plays, I don't know, 30 minutes, 35 minutes off the bench, and that keeps him fresh, and that keeps him scoring goals. So when Isak got injured, I knew that there's only going to be a short time where we're going to lose Wilson, and we lost him at Dortmund. So he's out for a period of time. Dan Burn, with his back injury against Arsenal, Eddie Howe says, unfortunately, Dan Burn will be out for some time as well. Jacob Murphy is unknown. Matt Targett, he'll definitely be out for the game today. Mankiel, groin injuries, unknown. Isak is doing well, and he's working on his fitness level. So for me, Isak has been training, but I don't believe he starts. Ideally, I want him to start, but like I was saying, we can't be too naive. We've got busy fixtures, and we can't afford more injuries. So Isak, for me, comes off the bench, probably later on in the game, just to get him easing back into it. We can't afford to start him again and then he breaks down again. So it's good to see that he's back in the squad. Anderson, unknown. Harvey Barnes, we know he's training. He's back on the grass. It's unknown. Botman, he's progressing well. So I believe he was assessed during the break, and his knees stopped swelling up. So he might not need surgery on his knee. And Almiron, I don't know. Eddie Howe says that he doesn't know how serious it is with his hamstring. So that might have been picked up during the break. I'm not sure. And I heard also Longstaff had an injury as well. So it's the injuries are still there, but there's players coming back. It's gone from out to not sure. So Eddie Howe just has to manage the players, and so based on that, the team I'll do. Obviously the back 5 picks itself. Actually, no, it doesn't, because Dan Burn's out. So it's mad. So in goal, I'd have Nick Pope. Right back, I'd have Trippier. Trippier right back, and then obviously Shaw, Lascelles. Left back, Livramento, I guess, because I think Lewis Hall needs some time, and obviously Matt Targett's injured, Dan Burn's injured. So left back, Livramento. And then, or even swap him with Trippier. I don't care, but that's just the back 4 in it. In the middle is where it's tricky, because obviously Joe Linton, where'd you play him? So obviously Bruno in there, Willock in there, with Longstaff being a doubt, and with Isak not being fit, who'd you play? So it's going to be looking like Lewis Miley for me, who had a good game against Bournemouth. So hopefully, he can take some form. Eddie Howe also spoke on him, which I'll get up. He says that Lewis Miley, he showed good maturity. He did his job really well in that moment against Bournemouth. In the last 2 weeks, he has begun to get back to his very best levels physically. So, and he's a top talent. So Eddie Howe's praised him. He's got some praise for him, and so do I. The guy is not afraid to get on the ball. He's confident. So I'll play him in there, and Joelinton on the left. And on the right, I don't even know. If Almiron's fit, then he plays. And then up top, Gordon. So you can see it's a struggle. If Isak is fit enough to start, then obviously start him, and then we can move Big Joe into the middle and Gordon out to the left, if that makes sense. But I would say don't start him yet. So this is a game where it's going to be difficult, because the injuries is going to impact our performances. But we still have a good enough team to go out there and to compete with Chelsea and to put in a good performance. So based on that, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I do believe both teams will score. A 2-1 win to Newcastle United. Bruno to score. and also Anthony Gordon to score. So up the boys, come on the boys. 2-1 Newcastle. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Make sure to like, to comment, and to subscribe. It's your boy Big Augs, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.